Hello and welcome back to Phil's Drone Zone, and welcome to part 6 of Learning Piece by Piece, the complete beginner's guide to working in Motion 5. If you're a first-time visitor here, don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can stay updated when we upload future videos in the series. Okay, today, since we've been working mostly with keyframes rather than behaviors up to this point, we're going to take a look at the Keyframe Editor in a little bit more detail, and to look at how you can use the Keyframe Editor to make your movements, your animations a little bit smoother. So let's just jump straight in and see what we can do with this particular part of motion. So we've got a little subscribe button centered up there, and we're just going to have that move in to the center from the left. So we're just keyframing that as we did before. We're just dragging the button off to the left now, and then the keyframe will appear. This is exactly what we've done before. There should be no worries about this. And then we've got that little subscribe button coming in. Now, at the moment it looks a bit slow to me. Don't worry about that. If it's too slow, you want to readjust the speed, click the keyframe, and you can just drag the keyframe on your timeline to wherever you want it. Okay, so that's a bit better. It's now a little bit faster coming in. But let's go into the Keyframe Editor and have a look at what we've got. Okay, as before, highlight all the keyframes, and then let's go to Ease Both. This is the one that we've used previously. It's good for most of the simple animations that you do, and it generally gives us a very nice smooth animation in. Okay, let's highlight the keyframes again. We'll go to Interpolation, and we will now choose Constant. Now look what happens to the curve. You've suddenly got this very strange right angle, and that suggests that basically it's not coming in, it's just going to appear, and that's exactly what happens. It's very flat on the bottom of the curve, and it's just going to appear, and that's your constant setting. Right click again, Interpolation, and we'll take a look at the next one, which is the linear, and that just gives you a steady constant motion, no slowing down or accelerating. And then if we look at the next one, continuous, that looks to me very much like the Ease Both setting that we had, and it gives you a very similar performance to that. And then finally the two at the bottom, they're very strange, and I've not found any uses for either of them yet, the logarithmic and the exponential, and they give you much faster acceleration or deceleration. Let's have a look at the logarithmic one, and you can see it just slows down very fast at the beginning and slows down a lot at the end. So let's just keyframe in our subscribe button again, and we'll just move in, I don't know, somewhere around about 21 frames, and then we'll keyframe and drag off our button. As you can see, we've made a little bit of an error there. It's actually going the wrong way. Not to worry, highlight the keyframes, right click on one of them, and then select reverse keyframes, and then we've solved that little problem. Okay, so now let's highlight them again, and we want to go this time, if it's not already selected, we want to select Bezier, and by pulling on these little handles we can manually adjust how the animation comes in and out. And by adjusting these handles you can influence how quickly or slowly the animation comes in and out. So if we see a steep incline here at the beginning, that means it's going to come in quickly. If I now make it shallower, it's going to come in slowly and accelerate out. So let's try it a different way. By pulling this one over, it's going to come in faster and slow down. And you can adjust these to taste. and you can create the kind of movement, the kind of animation then that you want to happen. But make sure you make small, otherwise you could lose control quite easily. But if you notice something here, when I'm adjusting these, when I move one of the handles, the other one moves in sync with it. Now sometimes that's a bit of a pain, and I don't want that to happen, and I'll get better control if the other one didn't move. Easy enough to do. All I have to do is to break the synchronization. I just right click on the handle itself and then break tangent. And what this means is that I can now adjust one of them without the other one moving in sync with it. So now I'm able to become a little bit more precise in what I'm doing, and this is a really nice feature. So by breaking that tangent, I've been able to control them one at a time. Okay, let's have a look at some applications. Well, I've got this little square, and I've moved the anchor point down to the lower right-hand side just by using the anchor point tool, as we did previously. And now I'm going to animate. You'll see when I rotate that, it actually rotates on that anchor point, which gives me a different effect in terms of the rotation. I'm going to animate that in and rotate it over 90 degrees so that it moves to the right 90 degrees. So we'll just keyframe that in, and we'll go to 41 frames, set our -90, and then we've got an animation where it rotates around the bottom corner. Okay, but it's a little bit uniform, and that's not the effect I'm looking for. I want it to come in very slowly, like someone's pushing it, and then its momentum topples it over at the top. So let's go to Bezier, and you'll see the handles. Let's right click on the handle, break the tangent. Now I can adjust that final keyframe without actually affecting too much the initial keyframe. And so now I'm able to get a much better control over moving my keyframes around and adjusting the speed. And we're almost there. We just want to adjust it slightly, and there you go, slowly in, and then it topples over. And that's kind of the effect I'm looking for. Similarly with the motorbike, I want it to accelerate very slowly and then really accelerate out as a motorbike would move. So again, just go to the Keyframe Editor and then highlight your keyframes, break the tangents, right click on the handle and break both tangents. And now we can adjust these individually of each other, and I want it slow at the beginning, and then I'm going to accelerate in, so I don't want that ease out at the top. I just want a nice smooth acceleration curve, like something like that at the end. Nearly. Just keep adjusting till you're happy, and that's pretty much what the effect I'm looking for. But now I'm going to do something else. Just to create an illusion of acceleration, we're going to create that jerk movement that sometimes happens when somebody accelerates quickly. So it doesn't matter where. I'm just going to keyframe on the shear. I'm going to create 3 points. And the first one I'll keyframe at 0, the second one -8, and then the final one at 0. And that creates that jerky backwards motion. Let's go to our keyframe inspector, and now I can drag these around. That's why it didn't matter where I put them. I can now drag the keyframes around and find the best place for these keyframes and to synchronize that movement. If I want to move it, then highlight them all, and I can just drag across on the timeline until I've got the effect where there's that little jerk just before he accelerates off. And that's it for this keyframe video. Most of the time, you'll just be able to use the ease in, ease out, or ease both, and create very smooth animations. But sometimes you're going to need to fine-tune it using the Bezier handles, depending on the effect that you want. So if you like this video, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that bell so that you can stay updated when we upload future videos. And all that remains to be said now is see you in the next video when we'll be sharing more secrets of Motion 5.